flat, so Hazel carefully did not ask me to sing to you. And she encouraged me to tell a poem. And I got a confession to make. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And I couldn't blame Betty after all these years. So I want to talk a little bit about tradition. And I'll only be a few moments. I won't steal too much time, Hazel. We all know there are three of the oldest professions back into antiquity. We'll talk about two of them for just a moment. One, of course, is the church, the clergy, and all the antecedents that go back as far as mankind. And parallel to them is the profession of arms. And that's appropriate subject for today. In that profession of arms and the church, there are many traditions and customs. And you know this, but you may not think about it very often. These customs and traditions are vital. They establish standards by which performance is judged and by which unity is gained and an orientation towards a mission or a goal. They're sometimes scoffed at, but they're vital. And they go back in antiquity. The church has frequently been the origin of many of the military customs that you've seen. You may not be aware of it. You may see some of these at the Corvallis Parade, and you may see some of them at a military funeral, for example. These customs owe a lot to the Crusades, for example. That's a church input, a major input. We practice many things that recognize the customs of the Crusades to this day. I want to talk about two or three more real quickly. The first is secular. It's the flag on the coffin. You've seen it at all the military funerals. That's a statement by the state. That's secular. That whatever performance, whatever duties were done under that flag were sanctioned by the state. Whether it be a chaplain like our Reverend Charles or a sniper. His actions, her actions, were sanctioned by the state they represented and served. 3 rounds fired, 3 volleys, pardon me, at a funeral. You've all heard them. Sometimes you watch the kids wince. They come from the Middle Ages, fear, mysticism about our friend the devil. It was thought that men or women at that time of burial were vulnerable. Their hearts were open, their souls were open to invasion by the devil and evil. And those rounds, all these years, have been fired to frighten the devil away. Another custom is the presentation of arms. You've all heard that command, and it always results in a salute by all those in uniform. Maybe we ought to hear that salute, Bill, right now, just to keep us awake.
Honor detail. Present. Honor.
What did the magic word there? It was the word present. We present the arms for the taking. It is a submission to higher authority. At a funeral, that higher authority is obviously God. In a secular thing, it's obviously some dignitary or something. But remember, a salute of that nature is a submission. The arms have been presented for the taking. They've been surrendered. Let's close just mentioning the taps. We're all familiar with taps, of course, and our version of taps comes from the Civil War, which is appropriate today to remember. Armies have always had some way of putting the troops to bed because they have to be fresh and fight in the morning. You can't have them shooting crap all night. staying up playing cards, and maybe battling one. It's called The Last Post, and that bugle call is still played today, of course. When it's played at a funeral, it's the last bugle call, the close of the day for that individual. But the thing many people don't realize is that inherent in that call, that tattoo, that bugle call, is a promise of resurrection, of reveille. It's the promise that when Gabriel blows his horn. So next time you listen to taps, realize it's a farewell salute, but it's also a promise that there will be a dawn. Now, I hope some of this will interest you. Maybe you'll see some of these things in the future. I'm sure you will. I just tried to put some of them in perspective, to realize they are traditions, they're customs, they're vital. They're not just a bunch of people strutting their stuff. They mean something. And we'll all witness it. And in closing, I hope to see you at the parade for Vallis. And I'm going to do something I wanted to do for years. I'm going to give out some candy.
Council to follow that. This is a good day to be in the house of God, and I'm glad